Wow.
Guys, I am so unprepared because it's going down. Files. Oh, we're not even live yet. Hold on. Go live.
No.
Go live.
I was wondering what you were doing.
Go live. It's hurricane season, y'all. First of all, God bless everybody. Please take a cover. Please be safe out there. And remember that you got a friend in me and Tasha. Specifically me.
No.
I don't know about Tasha. She's mean.
I know.
It's hurricane season, Tosh.
Yes, it is. I was trying to wave the whole time. Can I get some water? Hey, can I get some water? Hello, everyone. Water.
Oh, go get some water. Hurry up. Okay. You're going to be doing most of the talking anyway. I'll hold them over till then. We have one viewer in the chat. Oh, we have 3 viewers, guys. This is going to be a crazy episode because it's Hurricane Milton. And I'm not the expert. I'm just here for
entertainment.
Yeah. Gooch said, are we early for once? We are early for once.
Yeah, we are.
Because there's just so much to talk about. We need more time.
So much time.
And our flyer does say
anytime we want, bitch.
So take that.
We'll start whenever we want. If we want to be late, we'll be late. If we want to be early, we'll be early.
If we don't even want to show up,
we won't show up. Just like next week.
Hell yeah.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. We're not showing up next week.
We're not doing a damn thing next week.
Nope.
What are we doing on November the 3rd or the 6th? Though?
We're not talking about it. We're not doing anything.
Okay.
I'll be at home all by myself, having a grand old time.
But wait, is it supposed to be 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. EST usual start time? Well,
we were gonna start at 7 today, as usual, 7 Pacific, 10 Eastern. But we're going an hour early
because we want to.
Yeah, bitch.
There we go. Talk to him, Josh. Come on, I've been waiting for this for like the whole week. Let's go.
A long discussion. Yo.
Okay.
Well, first let's start with our pits and peaks for the week first and get all of the intro stuff out of the way.
Okay.
So my peak is definitely working on this. As well as, just living my life, being the best there is out here. Every day, all day. What about you?
My peak is I got a phone call from a friend yesterday that thought about me, so she decided to FaceTime me because, she just thinks about me out of the blue, out of nowhere. Let me FaceTime my friend because, And so, I got a phone call yesterday. I was so excited about that. I was so happy. It made my day. And I won my basketball game yesterday because of it. So
disgusting. Are you going to tell the people why I called you?
So you got to be a fan of the show to get the funny here. A fan of the show. We have like 3 people that watch.
So, yeah.
But anyway, Tasha's always talking about how when she comes home sometimes there's often an ambulance waiting outside because they check on her neighbor or do I don't know what the hell with her neighbor. Sure enough, she calls me yesterday on her way home and there's an ambulance outside. I'm like, she wasn't lying. But I told her, you better be grateful for that Amber Lamb because one day it's not going to come and that means your neighbor,
I think it'll still be here for a while. But I know I went to go take a photo. I'm like, why just take a photo, another photo to my collection when I could just call you myself?
Yeah. And Tasha introduced me to her coworkers today. That was another peak of the week. So that was pretty fun.
It's so annoying. You're so annoying. I didn't realize I fucked up until you started to bother me, and then I was like, damn it. What did I do?
What was my pit?
My pit was definitely, I think it was on Sunday, my ankle locked up for the entire day.
What happens there? You just don't walk, or what happens?
Yeah, basically. Also, it just started to pour. Like literally out of nowhere. It's like torrential downpour.
Shout out Milton. That's crazy.
Yeah. That's so random.
I can't think of a pit for now. We'll just leave it NA, not available.
Not available. You don't have a pit?
I can't think of one, honestly. The Cowboys won.
Your whole life is a pit, so I guess I'll accept that. This podcast was the pit.
For real, me having to join this shit, but I'm even excited for this one. Like,
Max, what the fuck? So annoying to me, guys, all week, because he knows how much I love this shit. And he keeps tagging me and stuff. He keeps texting me how excited he is for this. And I'm like, yo, you're taking away the fun for me now. When you're annoying ass. Bothering me. I didn't even see what you recently just tagged me in.
Oh, watch it now. Watch it now. For real. Watch it now.
What is it?
On air.
Okay. What is it about? Oh, the dog. I sent this to a few people today.
Oh, you did it already?
With the rainbow Orbeez, yeah.
Yeah, it's a dog pooping rainbow Orbeez.
I know. That's so sad for that little pup. He's having a rough day. So right before we went live, literally about like 10-15-ish minutes here, Hurricane Milton finally just made landfall officially.
I'm actually gonna have that in the background, like YouTube in the background.
I already have it in the background playing, so if you guys see my eyes wander, it's because I'm looking. But I did include some Milton slides in this presentation, obviously, since it's so fresh. And I just finished updating the slides too. So.
Oh, so Janie's mom is in Florida right now, and she just sent the group chat. Oh, y'all want to see?
Show.
Let's see.
The best part is we didn't even test this.
So she lives in Orlando. Will they take away yours? Because I don't want to take away yours.
You could take away mine.
Let's see.
Because maybe I can test how I can go next on this. Do I have to really go slide by slide? I think I have to go slide by slide.
Oh, never mind. I can't show because it'll show my other text messages.
This is kind of annoying.
We suck at technology.
I suck at technology, guys. I literally now have to literally go slide by slide.
Like literally?
Literally. Because it's not letting me go next. I need to figure out an actual way to do slideshows properly.
There we go. Let's see. Okay, yeah, here we go. This one. So this is like minutes ago. This is like minutes ago. Share. And play. This is Orlando.
I think Orlando's getting up to 80 km/h wind gusts right now.
Damn, look at this. Damn.
80 to 100 or something. Or no, it's miles per hour.
Those trees look like my hair.
Miles per hour. Okay.
Okay.
You have such special hair.
Hurricane Helene. So let's just get it over with right now. Which one's going to be stronger?
That's tough. Probably Milton for breaking a record. And obviously Milton's category 5. Well, so is Helene. But I think Milton is stronger like wind wise and like record breaking wise. Helene is bigger.
But
For
is it
like
Milton?
size wise, and Helene has more damage.
You hear me?
I hear you. I'm talking over you.
Oh, I'm talking over you too.
You didn't let me finish.
In the path of destruction.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna talk about that at one point, but Helene definitely has a lot more destruction, I feel.
Really? I thought the other way around.
I mean, Milton's not helping. Milton's definitely not helping. But the thing is, Milton's still it just made that landfall, right? So like we still have all night of like the flooding, the surge is still coming in. It's still going every hour. Here it's going up because high tide is like later. So it's like it's still rising. So like there's still damage to be happening. And the thing is, they're completely different with like damage if you think about it, because Helene's damage, a majority of it, especially in other states, have been caused by rainfall and mudslides, whereas right now, all day today in Florida, they've been dealing with a lot of big tornadoes. So it's like similar like probably equal damage levels, just different ways that it got damaged, essentially. You know what I mean?
Why is the universe so pissed off at Florida?
I don't know. I don't know what Florida did recently.
All right.
I don't know. Just must be its time, you know?
Yeah.
Time. All right.
Everybody has their day. All right, let's go.
I really hope the videos work. I just thought of that. Okay. So, back when Helene was first predicted here, it was on September 17th. They highlighted it as the tropical storm. Just usual beginnings of a hurricane. At this time, September 17th, it was just after peak for hurricane season. Hurricane season peaks at the beginning, mid-September. So this is on par for an average year for hurricane season. And then on my birthday of all days, September 22nd, that's when the low pressure area has developed into the storm officially.
Look at that.
Look at that. I know. This was craziness. Okay, so it finally became a storm, a named tropical storm on September 23rd. It had 84-kilometer-hour winds, which that was like, I think we talked about this before, like which with each category, like you have to be at a certain level for wind speed. And then September 25th, 2 days later, it was officially upgraded to a hurricane, which that is 80 miles per hour. That's when it's a hurricane. Anything lower than 80 is a tropical storm. And I was going to say, I can't remember why I put this here. It feels early. Oh, right. So these were their guesses, essentially, that it was going to be a category 4, category 3 on landfall. Oh, yeah. And then between like 2020 and now, because it's been so, like every year, we've had a major hurricane. So it's the last time that this has happened with like 4 years in a row with something major was 1915 to 1919. So it's just
been a while.
Long thing. All right. So a rapid intensification. So I mean, to be honest, Milton kind of already outbeat this in a way. But
Do you come up with the names of these slides like rapid intensification? Like
yeah,
or do you
yeah,
really?
yeah. There's actually one that I laugh about so much, and you'll see it later. Anyways, I just needed to title it. I don't know. It just makes
Yeah,
it feel more like a slide, you know?
official. Feels more
Yeah.
official.
It's just so that I know what the slide's about. So I know what track I'm on, so I don't lose my train thought. Because you
I'm
know
not
how
mad
we
at
are.
it.
You know how we get off topic so quickly. I just need to make sure
Yes.
I have something to keep me on topic.
My bad. Do your thing.
No, you're good. So yeah, Hurricane Helene went through a rapid intensification, which has been a new normal thing now with hurricanes. So over the night, September 25th, 26th, it went from a category 1 to a category 4 in under 12 hours. The sea temperatures there are obviously quite warm, 30, 32 degrees sea temperature. I don't know what it is in Fahrenheit. Do your own calculation. I forgot to add that. Yeah, so as soon as that happened, obviously, Florida and Georgia declared their state of emergency before, obviously.
Inconsiderate.
What?
That's
Hey,
inconsiderate.
at least everything else I put, like all the wind speeds, okay? I just forgot this one slide. But yeah, so like of course we knew it was coming and it grew so fast, like in this GIF, whatever you want to call it. Like this was it going from the category 1 to 4 in just that day. And yeah, no, it was a beast coming straight ahead. And it's crazy because Milton was literally in this exact same position earlier today. Wild. So yeah, it was just crazy.
But Milton is going more like eastward, right? As opposed to Helene that went more kind of like northward.
I see the problem here.
What's the problem?
I have videos. That's why it's empty on my slideshow.
Oh shit.
Ugh. Okay, let me see. That's so annoying.
Should I dance? Technical difficulties have arisen.
Technical difficulty with me. I wonder if I just share my entire. Yo, I don't know how to get the sound to work.
Oh, is with you? Because I got a new gadget.
He's around. Probably. Okay, so if we go like this, if I press play, can you hear that?
I cannot.
This now just ruins my entire presentation because I have so many slides with sound. Is biggest bro here? I know he knows the trick for this. This is why I wanted to test it out before, and I thought I figured it out.
Play another one. Try to play the other one.
Well, if you can't hear the first one, it's so fucking loud. You're not going to hear the second one.
Just try it anyway. Oh, see, I hear that one.
You hear that?
I'm totally kidding. I don't hear it. Sorry. I do not hear it.
I don't know what to do.
Just continue your presentation without the sound.
Yeah, but there's certain things in the videos that explain something specific.
It takes away the flavor.
It takes away the whole thing.
Whatever shall we do?
I don't know what to do. Just to sing. The bitch is asleep. I can't even ask him.
Who?
Who do you think? Ugh. What am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to do present? Have we tried present before?
Well, you.
What did I do last time?
Send me the video, the link, and I'll try to play it from my end.
What did I do last? Okay, yeah, I might have to.
Okay, I'll just go.
I'm gonna have to do that with all of them.
How many are there? Like more than 10?
Yeah.
Oh, hell no. Don't send me shit. I'm here to listen. I'm not here to participate.
Yeah, and that's the thing, because like I have them all set to like the exact times of videos. That's the thing too. Like that's the annoying thing. I have everything set the way I wanted it set.
I'm trying to learn about Helene and Milton. That's what I'm trying to do.
Do you have something to share with the crowd while I try to figure this out?
Yeah. My basketball game from yesterday.
That's disgusting. Continue. Tell us all about it.
Let's do this. No, I have like the video.
Why can't I even exit out of my own slideshow? There we go.
Let's see. Waving all night. Present.
I don't even know how to do this.
Share screen. I love this pod. You never know what's going to happen. There we go. We're watching a flood rescue.
You're watching Reed? I like to watch Ryan, y'all.
How do you spell that?
Just Ryan, YALL.
Y.
Yeah.
Ryan, y'all.
Ryan, y'all. He's part of the y'all squad.
What's he doing? Damn! That boy got a command center.
Yo, he's got it down, bro. I've been watching him all day. I had him on in the background. Okay, this is really.
I should shout out Tasha's coworkers for the pod.
Shut up. Don't. Please.
They're my friends now.
Please stop.
Yo, how upset would you be if I brought on a guest from your high school? Would you be okay with that?
I'd just be interested who it would be, because the thing is I don't really keep in contact with a lot of them. So whoever would want to come on, I'd kind of be sussed about them, because I wouldn't feel like it would be genuine for them to come on when I don't talk to them, you know?
They would just be in it for the fame.
And not even the fame, it'd just be like really random, because I haven't talked to them in so long. You know what I mean, dog?
I feel you.
This is so annoying. I don't know how to fix this. Choose a smaller file. Apparently, my slideshow is too big for even a download present.
She is all kinds of flustered. Live footage of Tasha. You know what?
What?
Let's revel in this.
It says to share audio, share a tab instead. What's that mean? Like, I don't understand
I
what it
should be
means to
flustered.
share. I don't
No.
know what it means to share a tab. Like, that's what I don't understand.
Sharing your tab is just sharing the one thing, not the whole window, but just the tab. That is a tab right there that you're pointing at.
Yeah. But, like, what am I supposed to do?
Push
Like,
play again right now and see what happens. There's no sound still? No. Huh. Well, ain't this a B word?
this is a bitch.
All I wanted to do was learn about hurricanes, and Tasha didn't want me to be great. At least we could. When you go to share your screen, there should be an option pop up to allow a tab selection instead of window.
Yeah, I do the tab selection, not window. This is the tab like window.
Well, then have you tried window?
No. I'm trying now.
If it works, I'm gonna travel to Vancouver right now and kick you.
Like no, because when I come. Oh. Wait a second.
If we're gonna be in this view, at least let me get the flustered view.
I'm not flustered. Now I see what you mean, but my tab isn't showing up as an option.
It has to, because your tab is inside of your window.
Well, no, because this tab is. Remember how I told you that this is on a different window because it's on my email. Remember how I explained that to you?
Yes.
Because I'm on. Okay, let me. You know what? Maybe I'll show you. I'll just show you my entire screen. Then you can see my problem. Wait, it won't even let me show my entire screen. My entire screen. Share. What is?
Tasha made this report on a baked potato.
Yo, it's not even letting me fucking show my entire screen.
Tasha made this report on a hand shovel.
This is not a good time right now. What the fuck? I don't want to do this without my
Tasha made this report on a 2x4.
The videos add to it. I don't want to do it without it. I put in so much time and effort into like clipping all the videos. I went through and searched through everything.
Why is this, to me, this is more gratifying than actually learning about the hurricane. Talk about peak of the week.
Request access.
Woo!
Okay.
Tasha made this report on a sandal.
You have the. Why am I access denied? Can you go to our podcast email address and accept my request?
Hold on.
I got you.
Let me see if I remember this shit. Oh, this is live. This is live. Okay. What's our podcast? Shit. Is it Omi Homies? No.
Or not really friends.
Let me see. Do you not have internet to go accept your own shit?
I don't have. I know you sent me the login information, but I have never once logged in.
Wow. I lost the login information. Let me see. It's not really friends. That's our email address. Oh, there it is right there. Not really friends. 2023? It's about to be 2025. Oh, the old dreaded password.
It's real.
I think it's Tasha Vader. Skip. Not now. Tasha Vader. Okay. What am I accepting now?
I don't know.
Huh?
I don't know.
You don't know? You sent me to the email.
Okay. I think I figured it out. But there's two. Is there? Are you going to
Coming fucking working for nothing.
Are you?
What?
Are you acting?
But it doesn't, you're not gonna talk though. Why are there three of you?
Can you? Hear an actor?
Nah, you sound like Darth Vader's voice box.
I hear. Can you tell me who this?
We begin tonight with Hurricane Helene, just upgraded to.
Okay. So what
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's like my worst nightmare. Two of you?
Mine too. Okay. I had to switch it to another thing. I was just sending you over to do the whole email thing to distract you while I figured this out. Okay. So you can now officially hear this, right?
We begin tonight.
Yeah.
Okay.
We begin tonight with Hurricane Helene, just upgraded to what they're calling now an extremely dangerous Category 4 hurricane, set to make landfall just a short time from now. Already 130-mile-an-hour winds. Take a look. Damaging winds up to 20 inches of rain in places. Tonight, authorities warning of potentially catastrophic storm surge. This is the satellite at this hour. The eye of the hurricane about 120 miles west of Tampa. Its outer bands lashing Florida for hours now. The monster storm has been gaining strength. It's moving fast. There are tornado watches across several states and flash flood alerts. They stretch from Florida up through Georgia and the Carolinas. The National Guard moving into Crystal River, Florida, in the Big Bend area where Helene is expected to come ashore. Tallahassee tonight, a ghost town, shops boarded up, people heeding the warnings with this hurricane now moving in. In Cape Coral near Fort Myers, a possible tornado roaring through this backyard, leaving, of course, a lot of damage behind. Torrential rain drenching this Orlando neighborhood tonight. The waves crashing onto the Howard Franklin Bridge. This is across Tampa Bay right there. That bridge now completely shut down tonight. Our team, of course, across the storm zone tonight.
So chaos. Early surge chaos, right? And this video obviously didn't play at the same time.
Why are you so happy about that?
Because it finally got it working. So obviously you can see here at 3:30 p.m. versus 8:50 p.m. Like the water was coming in pretty hot and heavily, you know? So I feel so much better now that this is working. Okay. I was so stressed. Okay, so yeah, mandatory evacuation was issued for all Zone A areas, which is coastal zones, obviously, for its approach. And morning of September 26th, the day that it obviously made landfall, the surge began to rise way ahead of time of the storm. As you can see from the video, there was a lot of wind, a lot of storm surge. I think it got up to about like 6 feet, like right away. So it went pretty fast, pretty hard. I wonder. Okay. I was worried. Okay. My mouse is so sensitive. Okay, so the eye landfall. So after the surge, obviously, we come to the eye landfall. I don't know why my video didn't play.
This is the issue here. It's moving so fast that we're going to get potentially 70-mile-an-hour gusts, maybe hurricane force gusts, well into the Georgia. And then on the back side, the east side, the worst side of this, is going to go up towards Augusta, Georgia, right there on the river. and that's going to knock out power too, along with all the rainfall. Even though it's been so dry most of the summer, you know, the first couple inches, but then when you get up to 6, 7, 8 inches, then you run into issues with flash flooding, and then the trees get uprooted. Whoa! Did you see that power flash, Ari?
I was surprised I didn't hear you.
There goes another one.
Yeah, it was at least 2.
There goes
Look at it, still
another
going.
one. Holy! Oh my gosh, that was 3 or 4 right there. I thought it was lightning. There goes another one. That's 4 or 5.
How much is this motherfucker getting paid?
I thought it was lightning, but definitely not lightning.
Really in the eye. He is literally reporting from the eye.
So we give him time to have.
Right? I wish I could be in his position, to be honest, because it's kind of a vibe. So he was in Perry. So the eye made landfall officially right just south of Perry, on the coast. Obviously, crazy storm in general, because it has a category 4, where Milton technically did make landfall about an hour ago as a category 3. So it was stronger. It was crazy strong. And I put the time. Okay, yeah. So it made landfall at 11:10 p.m. It's weird. I really don't understand why, like, how it is that storms always, like, the hurricanes always hit at night. I'm like, why can't we have one in the day? Because I want to see that shit, you know?
Is that like a fact?
Yeah, like, there's a couple.
Or is it like a tendency?
Like, there's a few, I think, in record history that have made landfall during the day, but it's very rare. Like, most of them do hit land, like I think 7 p.m. to like 5 a.m., like in that range. That's typically when the eye makes landfall. And that's the thing, because like I want to see that eye come over. Because could you imagine like standing, I mean, as wild as it is to stand on the beach and just to see the eye like coming towards you?
It doesn't like knock you over though. It's 100-mile-per-hour wind.
I mean, yeah. I mean, he's holding his own pretty well though. Look at him. He's standing.
He had a wide ass base. Look at his base though. It's wide.
Yeah, I know.
That boy was sturdy.
Yeah, I mean, I'll sturdy myself.
Not with your weak ass ankles. Hell no.
Yeah, true. Facts. I'll sit down. I'll find a good spot comfortably and sit. But yeah, I always find it so weird. This is my title.
Here we go.
I'm pretty proud of Surge and Rescue. Get it? Search and Rescue.
Yeah.
Like, that was fun. Okay.
You did it, Todd. Good job. Gold star for you.
I did it.
Good job.
I know. So obviously, this is where now it's gonna get really sad.
It's gonna get really what?
It's gonna get really sad from here on out.
Oh shit. Okay.
Okay, so surge levels obviously broke so many records across Florida's coast. I guess I'll play the video first.
We have another water rescue coming in right now. Jen, let's go to you there in Citrus County.
Hey guys, yeah, so we are seeing, this is the third airboat that we are seeing come through, guys. Another rescue taking place here in Crystal River. It is just the reality that is happening as this storm surge continues to rise. Guys, in just the past 20 minutes, where you saw the sheriff and I, we were standing there where that airboat just pulled up. That shows you how high the water is rising. You see these water rescues take place and these families. And again, guys, your heart just breaks for them because you know the situation that they just left inside their home, as we see just full families of kids and pets and everybody that was just waiting till the last minute, hoping that Helene wasn't as bad as we thought it was going to be. And we are seeing this just, again, the absolute worst. It's been the sheriff saying they haven't seen this in 103 years, guys. And we're looking at 4 o'clock in the morning. You could just imagine that they were just staying up watching the water rise inside their homes.
So yeah, yeah, 103 years of records, like of like recorded history, and like they haven't had anything this crazy, especially in the Big Bend of Florida. Wild. Shit, I went too far. But yeah, like the surge, even after, obviously the eye made landfall, like it doesn't, once the eye makes landfall, it doesn't mean that it's over. In fact, it still gets worse and the water still comes, especially on the backside, because when it comes onto shore, like you have all the water coming in, but then as soon as it's on land, you have the water going out and curving back into, depending on where you are on the eye. So yeah, sometimes the backside of the eye is the worst side of it, depending. More so if you're on the southern side, whereas Crystal Lake and like Tampa even was on the backside of it, on the bottom side. So that's when all of the water came in. So yeah, so of recorded history, like most of them doubled, some of them even like tripled. Like there was in Cedar Key specifically, like they had almost 9.5 feet. I don't know how much that is in meters. Okay. I got this from
That's 3 meters.
American.
3
show.
meters is 9 feet.
Yeah, so it broke a lot of records. Like Cedar Key, like the record before that was 6.89 feet. So a lot of it, like St. Pete, like a lot of these places just broke all their records for surge. So it was just
That's like so crazy that it's like back to back though, because Milton is just as strong, if not stronger, and they're getting it like one right after another. Like man,
no, like that's why it's so weird, like with Milton and Helene right now, like how they are back to back, and it's literally like 2 weeks apart.
Yeah,
it's just I don't know. It's something's up right now with it, but I mean, it's weird to say. Like, I feel like Florida was kind of due for a big one.
well,
As weird as that is, it kind of is.
I feel like Vancouver. No, I'm playing.
Vancouver is definitely in need for one. Let's be honest. Did you know there actually has been some hurricanes to hit Vancouver? I know because I've researched this before. It was one, but it basically downgraded to a tropical storm by the time it hit us.
Weak.
Like, yeah, I think it was like 200 years ago. I don't remember. But oh yes, so more water rescues. So I don't know if you saw this video. It was going around online
No.
of the hospital. So especially Tampa's General Hospital, since it is on an island, like in this video here, it was 10 feet of water surge up on the up next to the hospital, and they have the aqua fence. It's basically just like a giant fence that they put up around the hospital. They obviously had to put it back up for Milton, and it protected the whole hospital from 10 feet of water.
Okay.
Which is pretty good. I mean, because the fact that they couldn't escape, right? Like they couldn't evacuate. And this one, like you see, like literally houses floating away. This was close to the eye. I think this was near Cedar Key, so it was pretty close to the center. But like, yeah, the water got so high, like 10, 15 feet of surge water, and it was just floating houses away, and like first floors of like most homes were like completely flooded out. There's like this video going around of like the Tampa guy that was in his living room on a kayak. I don't know if you saw that
No.
video. Forgot to add that, but yeah, it's just it was crazy. I can't remember what this video was. This might be a sound video.
Absolutely. We've got our crews out there. We've got our partner agencies from the sheriff's offices in the community that are not being inundated by storm surge right now, helping us out as well. And we've effected several rescues already. We just sent our old airboat back out to go and rescue an elderly couple out off of Fort Island Trail. And we've done several rescues down south off of Halls River Road, down in the River Bend area. And I believe this is going to continue for several hours into the morning. And then once the sun comes up, we'll have a lot more to do, of course, as folks wake up to what the reality is now, which is far worse than what we saw in Hurricane Idalia. And the storm surge values, as you can see, the water's much further up 44 here into Crystal River. And we're going to be very busy today.
Definitely. Actually, I noticed that a gentleman you just rescued, you could tell the water was about waist deep. Any idea how much feet of water we've got out there?
Well, it's probably over 8 feet easily, because what we had was 8 feet last year in Idalia. And as you know, the water was down here at this next intersection by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Avenue. So it's probably 9 feet or more. And high tide is just moments away. On top of high tide, as the winds continue to shift and move northward, we're going to see more intensification of the water being pushed in, and it's not going to be able to recede because the wind's going to keep it pressed in against the bays and rivers for several hours, probably until noontime today, or maybe even later.
If I open a new tab, will you see it? No. Damn it. I was going to say, because I remember during that time, like during this live, because I was watching that live, I was I was on Google Maps and I was just trying to see like exactly where they were located so that I can like get a guesstimate on the flood. And I got it. Can I share a second thing?
You do this shit for free too. You need to hire you.
What?
You need to apply. You need to apply. You're like, I was trying to get a guesstimate of the exact location. I was trying to get the coordinates.
I really was. What's wrong with that?
No, I'm saying you do this shit for free. They need to hire you.
So obviously in Tampa, like it was that specific video was at Crystal River, so you could see like the water. Oh, you can't see. Can you add it? Because I had to come in on a separate thing. Thank you. So Crystal River, that's where that video was taking place. So it's just like north of Tampa. The eye was over here. So like they got the backside of it, and you can see like it was the water kind of swampland. That street they were on, it was flooded up until here, where the 44 is. Basically, they were stationed on this street here. So like you can imagine that like all of this was flooded, like completely. Like they were rescuing people everywhere in the town, basically.
Damn.
Crazy, Sharon, right? Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you gotta add my screen back up.
Oh, what's up, Mom? Mom's in the building.
What up? So yeah, like the flooding, like it was pretty far inland. I think they said like it was like Highway 19. I think that like goes down the entire coast. Everything like west of it was completely underwater. Some of it also passed. But basically everything on the west side of that highway was just underwater completely. So the daylight, obviously in the morning when the sun finally rose, you know, we start to see a glimpse of all the damage. And a lot of the coast definitely had plenty of it. Unfortunately, it's really sad to see. But yeah, like a lot of it had up to 14, 15 feet of water up in the Bend area. Tampa, I think, got up to 10. And it's just crazy to see. Like I mean, I've looked at all of the hurricanes over the years, but like I feel like this damage specifically is just it feels extra. Like it feels like it's just a lot more damage than a normal one that we've seen in recent years.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's what I mean. Like I have been like the entire time since like that day when it first what's the word? Like on the 27th of September when I was watching it, I was like, this gives me a lot of Katrina vibes. Like just like the aftermath, just the overall damage, and just like it's just everywhere and everything's still flooded. Like the whole towns are just underwater. The damage, like yeah, it was bad. And then it kept getting worse, as we'll get to here. Yeah, no,
Oh wow.
it was just wild to see. So obviously the storm itself, September
I
27th.
shall title this slide "Weakening."
Okay, so September 27th. Leave my slide titles alone. Okay, so obviously, like the next day, it downgraded once it hit land. It approached Georgia, like the state of Georgia, as a Category 2 before like further weakening, obviously. But here's where it kind of really did take a turn, unfortunately, because usually when the hurricanes hit land, obviously it's bringing water, whatnot, for storms, but usually it like ends, right? Like it starts to break up, and then it'll just move off really quickly, right? But unfortunately, with Helene and the way that the wind shears were going, like it was just stalled out basically over the east side of the states. It stalled over top of basically Tennessee for like a day and a half, 2 days, as like a tropical storm to like a normal storm, and that brought a lot of rain to that area that they're not used to, which we'll get to. So it was just weird how like it was so strong and then it just stalled for like days instead of just kind of moving along like it usually does.
It just chilled.
It did chill. It really did. So yeah, like I said, like it came up like when it hit land, it went up to Georgia, like Category 2, started to die out, and yeah, so it like obviously South Carolina, North Carolina, Tennessee, Georgia, obviously like they all felt the effects of it, and it stalled out here for a while, and then eventually like started to fall apart and move on. I think it even like, and especially with the size too, because like Helene was pretty good width wise, but it was very tall. Like it extended very far north to the point where I think it was Lake Michigan was having like 6 to 10 feet waves from like the wind from like the outer bands from the top.
Damn.
Yeah, like the fact that like it was like causing a lot of like wind and rain like close to like the border with Canada and stuff. Like it was pretty tall, right? And it was just kind of sitting there for a while too.
What day was this? Was like 2 weeks ago, you said?
Yeah, so this was on September 27th to 29th.
Oh, okay.
That's like the path, because it hit the 26th night, and then the 27th it was coming up, and then yeah, just sat there for 2 days. So yeah, it was 400 miles from landfall to North Carolina for destruction, which is just, it's insane. So much rain, 30 inches of rain in North Carolina alone, which got a huge amount, which we will get to. Yeah, 15 port storms, like I said, 20 reported tornadoes. It was 20. I think this was outdated for the tornadoes. I'm pretty sure it was more tornadoes, but I think it was like 18 confirmed or something. But they didn't.
There's already tornadoes. There's already tornadoes now.
I mean, I'm saying like the tornadoes were pretty bad for Helene, but they are nothing compared to what Milton brought today. Yeah, so it's just the path was just crazy for Helene aftermath. So Georgia, because we're gonna go through a couple of states here that had some.
Consistent onshore wind. Look at Charleston.
Charleston's at major flood stage, by the way, in the harbor because of that at the battery. We got to move on to Georgia, though.
Look at the dogs.
Look at this puppy coming in on a raft. These first responders are working so hard. They have the ropes out. They have the rafts out. They're saving some dogs right now. We can also see a family. A woman is there with a headlamp on her head. These are folks that have had a really, really scary night. They've had several inches of rain.
And Britta, when you think about all of the first responders surrounding the boat, trying to push the boat up into the current.
They're still struggling to hold it against this current.
My point, exactly, because they are knee deep in the water. The current is like a raging river in some cases. It is moving fast. And you put the weight of the family and the puppies in the boat, and that's just added pressure for them to try to get them out of the water. The ropes will help them to secure themselves because you can easily break away from that and then get pushed down a stream. This is in a very populated area, North Atlanta, Buckhead, a very nice, trendy neighborhood, has been for decades, since before the Olympics took off. This area of Buckhead, lots of great restaurants, lots of great apartments, lots of people who live here. And when you see the pups and the rescues going on, you worry because you never, ever leave the pups behind.
This lady has a baby.
Oh my gosh.
It's situation. Sorry, I'm just gonna. It's hard at the end of the day, we're all human, right, guys? I have 3 kids. I cannot imagine as a mom having to strap your infant to your chest and go through that. That is tough. Thankfully, it looks like she's okay. They're walking her out of the water right now. I can only imagine the night that they've had. Well, here comes the dog right behind.
Right.
Hats off to the Atlanta firefighters, by the way. They are the ones involved in this, as well as other agencies that are having to work together. And the training.
So Georgia got a lot of rain. Did you see the current in that video though? The water, like how fast it was moving in the back.
Yeah. Shout out to the dog. He made it.
Yeah. I watched a lot of the live rescues that night. There was a lot of families, a lot of animals, thankfully. Because I heard there's a story even today of people that leave their dogs behind in these.
Hell no. I would not leave my Wallace.
I don't know.
Churro maybe. Churro, I'll probably leave him behind. But my Wallace?
Churro will probably survive. Let's be honest. He'll survive. But there was a story today. A police officer found a dog tied to a fence on the highway in Florida.
Tied to a fence?
And he was like the water. He was standing in water that was halfway up his legs. Yeah,
Oh,
so
man.
those kind of stories piss me off because it's like, how can you just leave your animals behind? Ugh, I could never in that emergency situation. Like, if my dogs come first before me, like I will die before I let them die. You know.
I wouldn't leave Wallace ever, but like if I had to go and I wasn't gonna take my animal, if ever, I would at least cut them loose. Like I'd give them a chance, you know, like give them a shot.
Yeah, like I know that there was. I also saw another video today with Milton that there was like a farm of horses, and they put their phone numbers attached to them, and they let them loose. Like they let them go. Especially with all the tornadoes going on, like they have a better shot at survival on the run than they do, stuck in a barn where they're attacked. So
that's stuff like you don't think about until that's sad.
Yeah. So the state was placed under a tropical storm warning days prior. Obviously, Helene arrived as a Category 2 and then quickly down. Created, they got like 12 inches approximately, a flash flood. So like there was a lot of parts of the state also that was just like flooded out mostly. A lot of damage from the wind and everything. So Georgia definitely was involved there too. They didn't obviously get the brunt of it like Florida did, but they felt it. South Carolina, the states are all mostly kind of the same in the sense. South Carolina also got a lot of rain. And a fun fact too, South Carolina, apparently, I didn't know this fact, but South Carolina is a huge chicken farm, like poultry for the states, they provide like, I think it's like almost half of the chicken on like the east side for sure of the states or something, right? So,
Did not know that.
yeah, I didn't know that either, but I was reading up on it because I saw like somebody post about it online, so I researched into it and I found out. So yeah, there was a couple of poultry facilities in South Carolina that got completely flooded out. And like a lot of the chickens died, obviously. And on top of that, too, a lot of like the chicken waste and manure and stuff, obviously is mixed in with the water. So it's gonna cause problems later for like farming and stuff. You know, kind of, it's not toxic, but it's not good, obviously, for the farmland and such. So there could be a little bit of a shortage of chicken. You never know. But yeah, so they obviously got, similar to Georgia, a lot of rain, a lot of flooding, a lot of damage, just that part of it also. I don't want to skip too far. Okay, there we go. Tennessee.
If you had to evacuate your home right now, what's the one thing you would take with you? Like, aside from like your clothing and your shoes and stuff, like your essentials.
That's not, I can be naked. I don't know. Besides well, I might just leave him behind actually.
Is not a thing.
I don't know. Like, I really don't know. I think about all the, I always think about it too, with like, because we're expecting to have like the big earthquake here eventually, right? They keep saying the big earthquake's gonna hit, and I always think about it. I'm like, you know, if it happens, it happens. Like the thing is, like, as long as I can have my phone on me, and that I can have a way that I can get in contact with my family, that's the most important thing. Like, if I have to lose my computer, if I have to lose like belongings, if I have to lose my Lego, you know, like they're all things that are replaceable. I should get insurance to, you know, help me, you know, financially replace shit. But yeah, so it's like I don't know, like as long as I have my phone, wallet, keys on me, you know, I'm like, okay, maybe a snack.
What about your computer that you play The Sims on?
My computer I put The Sims on. My computer sucks right now, so you know what? If it goes, it was kind of a blessing because this thing, it's gonna die any day now. But I mean, realistically, like, yeah, it'd be cool. Like, I know is for him, it's his camera gear and his computer that are the most important that he would want, obviously. But for me, it's like, I don't know, like, as much as I would love to just like pack everything, like realistically, like in situations like earthquakes and hurricanes and stuff, it's like, what's more important, you know, packing all my Lego in a box or getting to safety, you know?
I don't know. Them Legos are pretty expensive.
I mean, yeah, but what's the cost of Legos compared to your life, you know?
Hey, keep going through the slides. I'll be right back. I gotta handle something. I'll be right back.
Without you? Jeez. Okay, well, we could go into Tennessee because it's basically the same as the other states, but obviously Tennessee got a little rough. It got a little bit more rough, you know. I guess Max is missing out on this, but obviously here, this was a hospital. I can't remember which town it was, but they got completely flooded out from the floods and such, and they had to go onto the roof for rescue. And that's just like, that's the thing. In all these emergencies with all storms and like earthquakes, hurricanes, tornadoes, like the hospitals are one of the places that most people have to go to, obviously, because of injuries and stuff. So when hospitals get flooded and stuff like that, it makes everything very much difficult, obviously. But the thing with Tennessee and North Carolina, which will be next.
All right, I'm back. What I miss? Tennessee.
Yeah, the hospital that got flooded. You see this video?
Damn. And they're rafting people to the hospital, or is the hospital evacuated?
They're on the roof of the hospital because it's flooded, and they're rescuing people from the hospital.
They can still use the top floor.
There's no top floor. There's one floor.
They're on it. What do you mean?
It's the roof.
The top floor.
Okay. So the problem with Tennessee, mostly, obviously, Helene stalled over top of Tennessee, brought a lot of rain. With the terrain of Tennessee, and we're going to see terrain also in North Carolina, it's very mountain, and they're not used to this large amount of rain that Helene brought. And obviously, Helene was there for like a day, just continuously raining and flooding. So it caused mudslides and floods. And a lot of that wasn't warned to people. Like when the mudslides started happening, there was no warning to a lot of people in the areas. Same thing with the rain. There wasn't a lot of like flash flood warnings and stuff. So a lot of people were kind of left surprised when all this rain came rushing down hills and coming through their towns, flooding it. And like, this is a lot different than a storm surge, because a storm surge water, like, it slowly rises. Like, you can measure, like how I showed you the photo earlier that had like 8:30, how the water was like just coming in compared to 8 o'clock, how it was like flooding in. You know, that was like a 4 or 5 hour gap. With Tennessee and North Carolina, with what they experienced, they didn't have hour gaps. They had maybe like an hour at most, not even, like more so like 5 minutes. You know, some people didn't even have warnings. A majority of people did not have any warning at all. So like,
imagine you're just chilling watching Netflix and you look at the floor. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, no, like, I don't know, Max, if you know exactly what's happening in North Carolina. Not a lot of people actually know, and this is the one thing that I'm going to stress a lot about, especially right now with Milton hitting. Milton obviously is horrible. It's going to cause a lot of damage. People are going to obviously talk about it after, but I don't want people to stop talking about what's going on in North Carolina and Tennessee, because this is really important. Because once all the information properly comes out, especially once we get the totals for the deaths that this caused, it's going to be catastrophic. It's probably going to be up there for like one of the most deadly storms ever, more than Katrina. Like, I'm telling you this, like, it's a serious thing, and not a lot of people are talking about it, and it's very hard to find information. It's very hard to find information because of two reasons, mostly because a lot of the people that can give that information and tell us that are there are no longer alive, and also because of the situation of geologically where they're at, there's no way for them to communicate. We're going to get into that when we get to North Carolina, but it's like a very serious thing. Like this whole aftermath situation with Helene, with Tennessee and North Carolina, that like, I get really upset for some reason about it. Like, it's so sad, and it's so frustrating that,
like the whole outcome of like what happened is just wild. So, anyways,
is this
what?
Is this what it looks like when you show emotion?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
Hi, Tasha. I've never met this part of you before. Okay.
Okay. So part of the Tennessee flood, it's also the same thing with like both Tennessee and North Carolina had similar situations with multiple dams. The flooding, of course, like the dams were being overtopped. Like that's how much flooding they got, was the dams, like the water was just going over top of the edge of the dams. A lot of them were going around the dams off to the sides. So it's like crazy flash flood. Like,
damn.
Yeah. Like, and like there was like no warning. Like it was, I hate that. It scares me every time. Sorry. I forgot to mute it. Yeah, so Tennessee definitely set a lot of records, had 26 feet of flooding for some towns.
Damn.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Telling you that the dam overtopped, the hospital was flooded. Like there was a lot of damage to roads specifically. Like bridges and roads were just being washed away and making it difficult for people to get around, especially for first responders and police and stuff to get around to help people. That's definitely not fun. So coming to North Carolina.
The jaw-dropping images of Helene's aftermath almost defy description. The devastation is so widespread, spanning multiple states in the U.S. Southeast, leaving misery and ruin effectively everywhere.
It's just really horrifying. It was just unrecognizable when we were going around just looking to see if anybody was okay. I drive those roads all the time and I just couldn't even picture where we were.
It's a total mess. People have been swept away. Business have been ruined. Lives have been lost. It's absolutely insane, to be honest.
Folks are in shock.
Esther Mannheimer is the mayor of Asheville, North Carolina, a city of 90,000 set in the mountains, hit with catastrophic flooding.
There are neighborhoods where every other house has a tree on it or through it. Roads blocked. Power lines, looks like, spaghetti. It really feels like, a post-apocalyptic scene.
We know that there are people missing, and we know that there's going to be significant fatalities at the end of this.
Indeed, hundreds remain unaccounted for. Meanwhile, some 2 million people are still without power. Food and fresh water is coming from volunteers, but so much more is needed for so.
Yeah, so North Carolina, obviously, I feel like got the worst of Helene out of all of it, even more than Florida in a way. Just because North Carolina is not built for a hurricane, and for that much water that they got, and for the mudslides that happened because of it. A lot of the homes too in North Carolina aren't built for hurricane grade weather and wind, which definitely caused a lot more chaos and damage because of that, because of the fact that most homes and buildings could not withstand what they got slammed with Helene. So yeah, like the state, a lot of it, a lot of people are left in complete isolation. There's going to be a lot of deaths report. I can tell you that already. Lake Lair was another dam that got overtopped, and that filled local rivers above 25 feet of rushing water. And that like rushing water took out a couple of towns, like a couple of small towns of like a couple hundred people. Like
what?
It's just gone. It's so sad to see. We're gonna get to it. and I think the next slide or two. Yeah, search and rescue operations. This is the part that really makes me so mad. Officially, search and rescue operations didn't even come into the area for days after.
Because they couldn't, or what?
Kind of both. Locals tried to, like, the people, local citizens, when says it is to say the ones that survived and are able, they struggled for days to like get help and to support each other. And then on top of it, it's once they started to like actually get active with it, it still took a few days for like official government to come in. And there's a whole situation with the government. I made a tweet about it. Yeah, so it's just North Carolina is not in a good state, and this is why I say again, like I hope that even after Milton passes, when everybody will obviously move on with Milton and whatnot, move on to the next story. I really hope that people don't stop talking about and sharing the information that happened with North Carolina specifically, and I still hope that we can still give them the help and support they need, because it's been 2 weeks and this is a lot of places, a lot of small towns especially, it's going to take them decades to rebuild.
Damn.
Like, it's not looking good. Did I skip one? I hope I didn't skip one. I did. Yeah, so I just wanted to bring home a little bit. North Carolina. So this is the state of a lot of small towns in North Carolina. As you can see here, this is a town. You know, this is the search and rescue going through. This was a town. You know,
All right, Tony Mormino. All right, Tony Mormino in downtown Marshall, North Carolina, after this epic flood. So we are just north of Asheville, and I think our city was one of the hardest hit. Asheville was hit. Well, there's a lot of cities hit real hard, but Marshall is normally about 650 people. And this is the first time I've been downtown, so we'll give you a quick walk through here, Nate, if you want to follow us. The water, just for reference, was about at the top of this, where this overhang is. We'll look in these buildings. This is Zuma Cafe. This is the historic courthouse here, which there's about to be a meeting. You've got all kinds of news people here from around the country. And yeah, so it's pretty nasty. I don't know what to say other than just show you kind of what happened here. But if we walk over here, Nate, this is Zuma Cafe, which is one of the most popular restaurants, hangouts here. We eat here and have coffee here all the time, and you can see it's just been completely gutted. So I'm sure the water line was close to you can kind of see it over there a little bit, but the courthouse is over here, and I think the water line, let's see if we could go up here, Nate. I think the water line was a few feet above. Oh, we can see the water line here, Nate. Watch your step. Some news reporters here, and hey, what's happening? Get a good shot of that. See where the water line was, and we're high up here. So I think somebody said the highest recording flood was in 1916, which was to the second step. I don't know if that's true or not. That's what I heard, but look at how much higher that is there. I might be spreading some false information here, but watch your step, Nate. All right, so let's walk this way. Nate, there's a giant hole here. Don't step in that. We're just going to walk through this downtown here. Apparently this was, I wasn't here yesterday, but this mud was a foot deep everywhere. Wow, look at that.
yeah. So this is just one town. There's hundreds of small towns in the mountain areas that had similar situations, similar outcomes. A lot of them obviously haven't really made it through.
I'm curious, like, where all these people are going.
What do you mean?
Like, you don't have a home anymore, you know? Like, where do you go? Where you start a new life somewhere? What happens?
That's the thing.
Like during Katrina, we had a lot of people come to my high school because I was one state over. So like I saw the effects of.
Here's the thing, okay, I know what you're saying, like having the influx of people come over, right, for safety and security and everything, and to start rebuilding and looking for homes. The problem with North Carolina right now is most of these people are stuck in the forest and the mountains, that they can't even leave. They can't, like, their house is gone and they're just sitting on their empty lot, stranded. And when I say that, like, I'm hoping that it's not a lot of people, but it's also sad to say it's not a lot of people because the people, the other numbers of people are people that didn't make it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not a good situation what's going on in North Carolina, and it's not being talked about enough, and I don't understand. So here's an example. Chimney Rock is another town. This was before. This is Chimney Rock after.
Damn.
This is what I'm talking about. This is what I mean.
Look at that blackout. Look at the blackout on the right side.
Yeah, the power blackout, Helene. Yeah. So like this specifically is what I'm talking about. Like people aren't aware of this happening right now in North Carolina, and this is an emergency. This is more, I feel like, more of an emergency than Katrina. This is why I'm saying that this is more disastrous than Katrina, and people don't know this because it's being hidden, and it's not being talked about after. And I don't understand why. I really don't understand why. I forgot I even had this link. Oh my god. I found this site. I'm gonna need you to add my screen for me, please. So yeah, I found this article where they were showing the Google Maps. You know how much I love Google Maps. Before and after pictures from North Carolina. So before, after.
No, wait, go back.
The stream.
Uh-huh. That doesn't even make sense, like visually. What the hell?
No, it's true. I put all of these up on Google Maps too to see it more, because I wanted to see exactly where each of these locations were.
Dang.
This is what I mean. Like,
damn.
Most people don't know and aren't aware of what's happening in North Carolina. Like, as you can see here, like with the road, like this is what I mean. Like, people are trapped. And I'm not just saying trapped by like one bridge being out, like we're talking multiple bridges, multiple roads just slid down the mountains. You know, a lot of these streams and creeks, because obviously North Carolina and being in the mountain, there's lots of little creeks, right? So all of these little creeks turned into rivers. And that's the problem. And it took out everything around it. So like you see how there's another creek with a little town. You know, this is this is what's happening right now in North Carolina, and not many people are aware of this, and not many people are talking about this. And this is what I mean by the damage that Helene caused, especially to North Carolina, is far more significant. And this is stuff that is so
Well, we don't know what Milton is going to do yet, but that's not to downplay like this damage though. That's still.
I don't think Milton's gonna do similar damage on this level, to be honest. You could put the slide back up. So yeah, so North Carolina is in a really rough state, and I could rant on a long time about North Carolina. Well, I'm not going to, but my heart is with a lot of people in that area affected, because every day I keep seeing different stories and different videos and stuff about it. I keep checking and everything. So I just wanted to have a little hero spotlight for Helene, obviously, and just some moments that I, saw here and there. Specifically, a couple. So I don't know if you know who Greg Biffle is. He's a NASCAR driver. He also, I don't know who he is. That's who he is. He's famous for that. And he's a pilot, and he also owned his own helicopter. So he was flying around in North Carolina just trying to find people and help rescue. And he was getting like tweets and stuff, and like he found people like on the map and everything. And he posted like every time he found people, he was posting it online and stuff, like, this is your family, like we found them, essentially, like letting people know like that he's finding people and everything. Another one here. So this dad with his son, he also was a private pilot, and he flew in and over trying to rescue people. He spent like a day rescuing, but there was another day he went to go rescue this couple, and he picked up, because of weight limit and stuff, I can't remember the exact situation, but he could only take them one at a time. So he took the wife, left his son behind there with the man, went to drop her off at an area, like a little field, I guess, that there was like a bunch of police and stuff waiting around, and he told them like he was going back to rescue this guy, and the government literally, like it's not the government, the sheriff of that area threatened to arrest him if he went back to rescue people. Like this is what I mean by this situation with North Carolina is really sketchy, and it pisses me off, and I can rant for a long time about this. There's a lot of sus shit with the government and the politics behind how they're handling this situation. But yeah, so a lot of these private people coming in with their own planes and their own resource, with their own money, fueling their own planes, offering to help, a lot of them were being threatened to be arrested if they interfered with official search and rescue, which the official search and rescue wasn't even happening. It's a whole situation, right?
That sounds crazy.
That's what I mean. Like the whole situation with how North Carolina has been handled after Helene has been the biggest disappointment I've ever seen. So yeah, it was just terrible. There was also, because obviously all the roads and stuff, there's no roads, right? So there's a lot of people. I kept seeing videos of people with their horses. I saw another one where they brought their donkeys, and they're literally going through the forest and through all of this terrain with supplies on their back to go and try to find people and to rescue them and to bring them what they need. I even saw another video of this group of guys that had a few drones, and they were flying their drones over a few mountaintops to deliver baby formula to a family that just had a newborn baby.
Aww.
You know, like,
that's cool.
Yeah, so there's a lot of things happening. Obviously, with Ryan Hall, I watch his.
We've been able to raise a pretty good amount of funds to help the people of North Carolina, Tennessee, Georgia, South Carolina, and Florida. Yesterday, we loaded up about $20,000 worth of Starlinks and gift cards to pay for unlimited data with them. We put them on a plane and went to Asheville, North Carolina, handed them off to the United Cajun Navy and several other local officials to then put them in remote areas. We're starting to see power and cell service return to some downtown areas in the North Carolina zone, but there's still people on top of mountains and in valleys that don't have service. So that's where we're focusing right now. Additionally, storm chaser Caleb Beecham is on his way with a big truck full of supplies. We've got another crew going to South Carolina with thousands and thousands of dollars worth of generators. And basically, we're just on the phone 24/7. We haven't been sleeping much, trying to figure out who needs what, because we've got a lot of resources thanks to you. So we're going to keep being out there. We're going to keep helping people. So once again, thank you for allowing us to help people, and the y'allsquad.org if you want to make a contribution.
Yeah, so obviously, like Ryan, that's one of the reasons why I really love him and watching his content with like storm chasing, because he always is on the ball with everything, right? Like he had, you know, his whole setup and everything, but also too behind that, he does have his charity that they do. He has a huge team that they, like, after every like tornado and hurricane and everything, they always go out and they help the communities, and they do a really good job. And he was really quick with the response and everything. So yeah, so there's a couple. I mean, I added also the aerial recovery, just a couple here of donations and stuff. Like, they're really great things and organizations to support in this time. So, because I know I could be on North Carolina's issue for a long time here. Trust me, I'm so pissed off. Yeah, so Helene,
You should start a space. You should start a space one of these days on North Carolina.
Honestly, I'll talk to you about North Carolina, trust me. But yeah, so Helene is definitely a costly, record-breaking storm. I put it up there, honestly, next to Katrina. I put it up there with the big ones. Just North Carolina alone gives it enough credit to be up there with the big ones for like damage and everything. But in general, like Helene from start to finish was a big, incredible storm with a lot of record-breaking moments and stuff. And yeah, like I said, the lack of rescue operations and blocking civilians in North Carolina for volunteering and just generally trying to rescue and save human lives it is shameful. It's inhumane. It's disgusting. I'm completely disappointed. I could be on it forever. Yeah, the political government response was horrible and so selfish because it's, what is it? It's the whole political race whatnot coming up soon, like the voting thing. So like both teams right now are just thinking about themselves, and they used the situation to make themselves look good, but they didn't do good, you know? They're using it to get the votes for themselves, claiming to do things, but they're not doing shit. Because they're too focused on their own fucking shit, and it's so annoying. Did you have anything?
That's funny because you're Canadian.
I know. As an outsider looking in too, it's like even worse. So I'm like, what the
You don't
fuck?
even go here.
I don't even go here, but I'm mad for you. I'm just. as just like a genuine, like normal human being, and seeing how things were handled from one human to another, like it's just
I feel the passion though. I feel the passion.
yeah, it's heartbreaking, genuinely heartbreaking. Do you have anything on Helene before we move on to Milton?
Nope.
No. Okay.
Milton time.
It's not long. Milton's not long because obviously Milton is still obviously active.
So Milton is happening right now, like as we speak right now.
Minute. Yeah, it made landfall roughly about 2 hours-ish ago. Definitely have a lot of surge right now happening, a lot of flooding, a lot of wind, a lot of power outages, a lot of destruction, all that fun stuff, you know. So to begin with Hurricane Milton in general, it's so crazy. I know we talked about it earlier, how Helene was 2 weeks ago, and now Milton is here. Literally, it was just under 2 weeks, back to back, basically. I mean, Helene did go more north, whereas Milton is going more like east. But the thing with both of them is Tampa obviously is getting the worst end from both storms. Just because of Tampa's location and just because of their sea level, they're getting flooded, and the storm surge is really bad for them. But the biggest thing that makes Milton more dangerous is the fact that people in Florida didn't have enough time to properly clean up after Helene, before Milton arrived. Like in these photos, like here, like this was a common thing the past like week, 2 weeks in a lot of the coast of Florida, from all the damage from the floods and everything. Everybody was putting all their garbage obviously on the curb, right? To like eventually go to the dump and stuff, like as part of the cleanup process after a hurricane. And the thing is, having all of that stuff out in the yards, you know, out at local areas, that just becomes weapons with a hurricane, you know, like having that stuff thrown up in the air, spun around, can hit you, you know, like it can destroy your homes. Like it's just, it's not a good situation. It's a bad combination to have all of this stuff out and about. And I mean, like beaches, like the beaches were just trash, to be honest. Like it was rough. So yeah, there was like no time to really clean up after Helene in time for Milton. So we'll find out obviously tomorrow more about the situation regarding how landfall has gone and the surge and everything. Obviously, like as of right now, we don't necessarily know everything. We don't know the situation, how bad it really is, and everything. It's probably pretty bad, but we'll get the official look, you know, in the daylight when we can finally actually see everything and see where all this stuff has ended up and everything like that. So yeah, I think personally, like that makes Milton a lot more dangerous. Is just the stuff alone is already like weapons that
projectiles.
Yeah, that we really didn't need in this time. Why won't it let me go to the next one? Okay, so yeah, so Milton started on October 7th. It went through an explosive intensification period, so much faster than Helene, because it went from a tropical storm to a Category 5 in under 60 hours. So they're kind of on par, but also Milton just exploded out of nowhere. And that's the thing, like all the predictions, because usually like the predictions with all the weather stuff, like people, they're pretty accurate most times. Like they're like the technology we have to like guess and track and everything has been getting better and better, obviously, throughout the years. So they didn't predict this. Like there was no even possible prediction that this was even a chance. So it just literally came out of nowhere. And that was mostly due to the water being so warm. It was like 32 degrees, which is really warm, really warm. Which I'm actually shocked that it wasn't a prediction in a way because of how warm the water was, but I guess nobody expected it to blow up instantly. So yeah, it's now 5th, obviously, on the most intense Atlantic hurricanes.
Dang, historical.
Yep, so it broke that record. Also, it didn't break the record because the record is 882 with Wilma for like the lowest pressure, but it's also as well 5th on the scale for that, which obviously beats Katrina on that level too. So yeah, Milton is pretty intense. Peak intensity, this is definitely a record breaker moment too. It hit 180 miles per hour, which is 290 kilometers per hour. They're technically like, I remember I kept seeing people were joking. They're like, they're gonna make a category 6 for this. They're not going to. They're never gonna make a category 6. But this is definitely a strong, like at its peak, it was a high end strong category 5. Technically, like it was high. Just like at this level with storms, like you don't need a category 6. Once you get to a category 5, the more intense, like yeah, there's no point. Like you're already at such a high point. Like it's already in a bad situation. The more it gets, like the more worse it's gonna be. But you're already there. You're already at a level that's a life or death. You can't really surpass them, you know? So yeah, it was.
When you're pregnant, you can't be more pregnant. Like you're already pregnant, you know? Like,
Yeah, exactly.
there, yeah.
You're already there. You're already there. This is a gift of it through its rapid intensification from a storm to category 5, which is just, to me, this is beautiful. Like I could literally watch this all day. Like just that eye though. That eye was beautiful. I watched the video earlier today of the planes flying in the eye, and it was so like it's just like calm. It's so beautiful. It was. I could literally I gotta watch it one more time because like look at this thing.
Oh God.
Beast. It's beautiful.
So beautiful.
So beautiful. So yeah, so before the landfall, obviously that happened a few hours ago. This was not, I didn't expect this. This is so rare. I mean, tornadoes do happen obviously with hurricanes because when you picture a hurricane, like it's spinning, but then your outer bands when they're spinning, like sometimes they catch, like they spin a little too much, right? Which is how you get your little tornadoes. Tornadoes are common with hurricanes. Not at this level though. This was crazy today. Like I kept checking all day to see like the latest, and every time I checked, it was like a new alert, another confirmed tornado, like another one, like all day. I'm like, what the fuck going on? What is going on over here? Like it was just constant all day with just the alerts and everything. Yeah, so more than 140 tornado warnings were issued today. I'm sure there was more from when I last wrote that. And yeah, like at least half of them were confirmed. Like there were so many different videos and stuff posted online. I kept seeing them and like tracking it on the map, like they were everywhere.
Is this the end of times, Tasha?
No, it's just the beginning of times. So yeah, these are just some screenshots I took today when I was on my phone, like at work. Like all of these, like these are like massive wedge tornadoes. Like these are huge tornadoes, and these are like the same level that you could find in Tornado Alley. You know, like these are like some big times, like beautiful tornadoes, and they were just popping up. Like there was one that was like they were side by side on the map, and I saw them move together, and I was like, "What the fuck?" Well, let me specify. There is a video going around of 2 tornadoes, one big one skinny one, crossing the highway. That is a false one. That wasn't happening.
Why did the tornado cross the road?
Well, I saw that video, and I'm like, this doesn't look like Florida land. This looks like Tornado Alley, like terrain. And then I like checked Twitter after, and I saw that they had a community. Somebody put a community note correcting the day. So I'm like, I knew that. But I'm not talking about that video. I'm talking about like I saw on the radar, like 2 of them going side by side. So it's just so crazy. Yeah, so there was just so many tornadoes happening today, and it was just every time. Like this is like one of the radar map things, like just the amount of like how many they were. It's just so many tornadoes, so many, and there was like so many tornadoes. I can never say it right. Okeechobee Lake, like on the east side of that lake, they were popping up at one point, like back to back to back. Like they were just coming through, and then another one, and then another one. And I was like, what the fuck's going on over here? And then there was like one that walked all the way up the beach by like Barrow Beach, I think it was. Like that's what I mean. Like I'm a little bit behind because I was only looking at a few of them here and there today, so I didn't get to focus fully all my attention today on it. But yeah, so the tornadoes were insane in general today. Totally. I mean, tornadoes are common in a hurricane, but like this is like next level tornadoes. It was a lot. And then also before the eye made landfall, obviously, storm surge already began in a lot of areas. Most of them were up to 10 feet, especially around Sarasota where the eye actually hit. Yeah, and I don't know what the current measurement is, but I won't be surprised if it's like 12 to 14 right now. But my live stream ended.
The world is ending.
A bit earlier, but yeah. So and yes, Mahalo Disney World is still open. Well, I mean technically not now because I think they closed for the day, but they'll probably open tomorrow.
Nah, you think they'll be open tomorrow? We need to check on Yosef.
They'll probably open in the afternoon, to be honest. They'll probably like open later.
They're not gonna lose no money. They're gonna open, huh?
I think. Yo, Disney.
Imagine you're a family like from overseas and you save your money the whole year to come to Disney, and then you come this week.
I mean, it's really bad to say. There's this video. I remember this video so clearly in my mind, just because this guy kind of gives me vibes in a way. So it was this old, like I can't even remember this guy, but he was doing an interview randomly with somebody on the street, and he was talking about how he loves to travel to places after natural disasters. And the reason why is because everything is cheaper. And there's no lineups, you know, like if you go to Disneyland after, like not a lot of people are going to be there. So you're not going to be waiting in line forever. You'll also get like discounts and like cheap hotels and stuff because not many people are around, you know.
Damn.
So like every time I think of a natural disaster, I always think of this dude. So I'm like, damn.
If you had your passport, you could travel to.
No, that's what I mean. Like, should I really have come down? Should I travel? It's sad, but it is actually true. Like it is. But yeah, like I won't be surprised if Disney fucking opens. Like I'm sure maybe they'll open late in the day probably have to do a little bit of cleaning or whatever, you know. I won't be surprised, honestly, because Disney, for some reason, fucking stays open no matter what the fucking weather is. But yeah, what's next? What do I have? Okay, I think this is my last slide. Yeah. So just basically with Helene and Milton, just the basic, you know, take all the warnings seriously. Today really was definitely a proof of it, especially with the tornadoes, because no one expected that tornado outbreak. Like that was not expected at all. And what's worse too is like a lot of the tornadoes happen like near the south and like off to the west side, and that's where a lot of people escaped to from the west coast. Like a lot of them moved inland to like, you know, to the other side, to Orlando, you know, like a lot of people went south even. So a lot of people were escaping, you know, where the hurricane was coming from, and they escaped basically 2 tornadoes unexpectedly.
They got trapped.
Yeah. So
Damn.
I mean, yeah. So that's the thing. Like, we didn't expect these tornadoes, but they happened, and when the warnings come, like, take these warnings seriously, because like the weather people, they're not going to put out a warning just for fun. They put out a warning because there's literally scientific backing behind why there should be that warning, and behind the fact that something's going to happen. You know, like there's a potential, a high potential, you know. So like take this shit seriously, you know, like be prepared for anything, especially if you're in the area. Like have a plan, have a backup plan, you know. Just be ready for anything. And yeah, my heart's with all the people affected, especially in North Carolina and Tennessee. And obviously the rest, Florida and all the other states. That's about it.
I feel like I should say something.
What?
Worthwhile. Prayers up to everybody who's been affected by these storms. And everybody who's going through it right now with Milton, y'all be safe. Please be careful. Especially, I mean, not especially, but like even more so the people that like we fucks with, like Boobs and Eagle.
Yeah, I messaged also Rolly, because I know Rolly's in Tampa.
Yeah.
He's in the Tampa area. And I don't think he evacuated. I don't think he had time.
Yeah. So we'll keep you guys in our thoughts, and y'all just be safe out there, man. Yeah, be careful. We want to see you at the next VV event.
Mm-hmm.
If the hurricane's gonna take anybody, let it take Tasha.
Exactly. Exactly. If it's coming at you and you're at rest, just tell it, turn its ass around and come to me. I'll take it off your back for you.
I'll take it off your back.
Exactly.
All right. We're coming up on this was one of the longest episodes we've ever done. We're coming up on a 2-hour mark. Any last words? It's because we had like a 30-minute ass technical difficulty.
I mean, it's good that we started early.
But other than that,
still ended up at the same time.
Where is it?
I also just noticed my tongue is green from all the cucumbers I ate before we went live.
Your what? Oh, your tongue?
Yeah.
I also just noticed. Y'all be safe out there. We love y'all. Well, I love y'all. I don't know if Tasha loves it all, but. Boobs, we better hear from you tomorrow on Spaces. Don't play with me, Boobs. We better hear from you.
Boobs is good. She's in Miami. Yeah.
She's in Fort Lauderdale, girl.
Same difference.
Same thing. Get your Florida right.
The difference. You're close enough.